Mark. So one dealer has a request. They make a statement that the new vehicle ordering and incentives are too complex. Can you do something to streamline and simplify them?
Yeah, so, if you could, that's a kind of a really a broad question for whoever asked. If you could please, provide that information through the, our dealer council portal, specifically, what it is. And I know we do have complexity. I mean, you look at Wrangler, for example, there's probably 11 different models. We've got different levels of Ram trim, and some of the constraints that we're dealing with, they're driving even more of those. And then, yes, on the incentive side as well. Our dealer council, we have these discussions every quarter. So if you do have some examples of, bring them to our attention. I mean, we want to make it simple and easy for everybody to understand. We're not looking to drive a complex machine. So if you have it, please, provide that to your business center director and have them kind of push it up through the system, and we'll certainly look at it.
Great. Well, I asked earlier about the Chrysler brand, and some questions came in to put Dodge and Fiat on the table too. So they're just curious to know, people are curious to know if you can share anything about Dodge or Fiat as well.
Yeah, so I don't have any, future product plans to share, but just, a couple of things, read the writing on the wall. I mean, if you just look at some of the union negotiations that occurred, in the past couple months, and the conversations that we had with Canadians in regards to Brampton, hey, look, we got cars we need to fill. Hey, look, we got Hellcats, buy them now. Who knows how long 700, 800 horsepower engines are going to last. But as far as I know, they're still on the plan, at least through 23 calendar year. So, look, Dodge has been around for a long time. Certainly a good strength. We just launched, an FCA Durango that's going to be part of the Jefferson assembly plant. So, hey, look, I think we're going to have, our Dodge brand sales are going to be strong. Hey, Fiat, again, we got what we got. And I think, they actually we hear that question, the past couple of years. Unfortunately, we're down to one product at this point in time. We have the 500X, and I don't know of anything that's in the product portfolio, moving forward. Some conversation about maybe bringing back the 500E. So that's still in, some commentary. But again, I don't have anything to announce other than we have the 500X, and we're selling down the Spiders that we have. So, a lot more confidence in Dodge and Chrysler and, their future. Fiat, we got what we got, unfortunately.
Okay. There's, let me put some of these together. There's a number of questions that touch on allocation and the pipeline, and they're all fairly related. So let me just ask them kind of together. First is the comment, the dealer is seeing less Rams replenished than sold every month, but they see that you're building a lot. And at the same time, another dealer's talking about, reduced allocation for HDs, less than their sales rate. And there's also a question there, an observation that shipping out of Mexico is really long. So what we're seeing are these kind of distribution allocation products, questions that come together. Can you comment on that, please?
Yeah, so let's take the first one. The first one was in regards to Todd. It was just the availability of Ram. Yeah, so we're selling as fast as we're building. I mean, if you think about 2019, and we spec'd out 50,000 Ram trucks in 2019, and they were on our list of products that we're asking dealers to take. The truck segments in 2020, even with the pandemic, totally overachieved. The light duty truck segment by itself came in 6% better than what we wrote down for the year in segment before the pandemic. So it totally overachieved. And on the heavy duty truck side, it came in flat to what we wrote down before the pandemic and 6% growth on a year-over-year basis. So between the light duty, heavy duty, the full-size SUV segment, and the compact SUV that has Wrangler, it was like there was no pandemic. Those segments did not slow down. So you guys are selling them as fast as we're building them, and we just cannot catch our breath. So back to the allocation piece of it, it goes back to turn. Look, we look at every dealer's availability, and we look at their sale rate. So for a dealer that's fallen in love with their white DT truck that's on their front line versus the dealer that's saying, you know what, just get them gone, they are earning the allocation because they're turning them faster. So again, don't fall in love with anything that you have. Do the best you can, maximize your profitability. But again, I would continue to turn the inventory. Those that turn are going to get them back. So that's kind of the key. As far as the shipping out of Saltillo, I totally agree. We've been pushing on our supply, on our networking team for transport pretty hard. And it comes down to that we had shortage of rail cars. We were trying to run them, through, short sea. Trust me, I'm feeling your pain. My email address is not hard to figure out. It's jeffrey.comar@stellantis.com. And for the customers that are waiting 8 weeks for their truck, trust me, those things are bleeding into me. And we are pushing as hard as we can to get them. Yes, we actually had a problem. I think we're getting close to the end where they're actually, freeing up. But we had vehicles, if they were coming offline and they get stuck in a yard, they were grabbing the ones that were coming off the line and shipping them. We had vehicles that were stuck there for like a month. Got an example in the Northeast. They ordered two the same, back-to-back VIN numbers. One showed up in Maine, and the other one was still in Saltillo. They came off the line back-to-back. So again, a little bit tough to explain, but yeah, we agree, and we're on it. Totally there.
Thank you. Well, let me throw you not one, but two product questions real quick. One, will the Ram Classic have a 2022 model year? And do you have any update on when dealers will see the new two-row Grand Cherokee?
Yeah, so the DS vehicle certainly has life through the 22 calendar year. So we'll continue our two truck strategy, order those big. So we just started to replenish some of that inventory. And we feel like we definitely lost some share and some sales momentum over the past few months as we had that 14 weeks of downtime getting that plant ready for Grand Wagoneer. So I feel like our inventory is getting a little better, and yes, that's certainly in our plan. And the new two-row Grand Cherokee, we'll see that this year as well, coming out of the new assembly plant. I think it's it's laid in for the last quarter of 2021. So yeah, it's coming. Three-row is going to be prioritized. We want to make sure we get that one absolutely right, and then we'll become with the 22.
Wonderful. Well, let's change gears to more of a legal question regarding right to repair coming out of Massachusetts. And the dealer would like to know what you guys are doing about the Massachusetts law that lets third-party repairers access vehicle data. It seems risky and puts customer data at risk.
Well, let me just say that we weren't happy with the outcome of the voting that happened in the state of Massachusetts, and the collective dealer body and our group worked really hard on this one. So we tried really hard to get the message out there and let that information out to the customers. So with the Auto Alliance, we filed basically a petition against it, and all I can tell you right now is that we're continuing to move in those proceedings, and I got to kind of leave it at that right now. Okay.
I'll probably just add that NADA is a big part of this effort as well. So a dealer has a clarification question and writes, so it's my understanding that the new KPI models for service will not be scored until Q2 for CFAFE?
That's correct.
Okay. Easiest question to get all day. All right.
How come Phil's getting all the one-worders?
He's choosing to respond with one word.
That's right. Exactly. Less is more.
Less is more. Well, you talked a bit about the CTP changes coming, and this dealer has a question and asking for dealers who have a high lease penetration, how will the miles affect the leases on CTP vehicles?
Yeah, so I know Matt's out there. So I know that, I don't know if he can pop on or not, but we have been working with the banks, and it shouldn't affect the way that we write the lease. Maybe Matt, can you pipe in? Sorry.
Yeah. Hey, Jeff. So working on that even now with the lenders, but it's a practice, and probably more people have an example in mind with Ally. The customer has the choice. When you sign up for, if you're buying 15,000 miles a year on your lease, it's going to start with the 2 or 3 that's already on it. You can choose to buy up more miles, same lease process as always, or you can just live with the 2 or 3 that are going to shorten that 45,000 miles that it has to show up with at the end. Want to replicate that with CCAP? They're ironing out that process right now, but that's how it should operate.
Okay, thanks, Matt. I didn't think I was going to have to phone a friend, but that was a tough one. Thanks, Matt.
Great. Let's step way back and think back. This one goes, it's kind of a big picture question, pretty broad. But the dealer would like to know, can you point to one or two big lessons learned from COVID this past year? I mean, you talked about in your video, lots changed and what you've been doing, but is there anything you want to point to or share?
Yeah, so for me, for COVID, one, the swiftness of this dealer network moving to online retailing. We had stores that were locked down, restrictions on people leaving their home, and the dealer network, you know what, they changed and they found a way to, keep their people rolling, and a really nice job of selling cars and making it happen was one. Two, you know what, the dealers can make money and we can make money at the same time. And then thirdly, you know what, we actually can move the number on how we handle our customers. And it's certainly moving in the right direction. So we can make money, you can. Online retailing tool is off the hook. And you also can, we can also do all of that, being the competition, and do a better job of taking care of our customers. So, a tough year, but I think the dealer body did a really nice job in 2020 in rebounding and making it happen. So it's a great dealer organization. Thank you.
Yeah, I'd echo a few things too to those points in terms of the responsiveness of the dealer network. And what you did, not just on sales, but also from a servicing standpoint. You adapted, you went out, you brought vehicles in, picked up at people's homes, dropped them off. And I think the lesson there is you've continued to adapt. The consumer is going to continue to change. Their demands, as you know, continue to grow. And if anything's been learned, it's this ability to now work remotely, work from home, have a lot of these capabilities in place, and they want more convenience. So increasing in terms of scheduling online, mobile apps, touch-free type of environments, and you all responded to that. And you continue to kind of grow that piece of the business. So great work by you on that one, and I think that's the point of where we got to continue to grow on that side of it. The customer is going to be continuing to look for this convenience. You've delivered it, and you got to continue to deliver it.
Well, I think we have the best dealer body out there. There's no doubt about it. And I looked at one metric that kind of proves that. And if you remember back in April, I believe we had an all-time record share of over 14% market share at retail, which was phenomenal. And I think it's a testament to the dealer body of reacting as quickly as they had to go to online retailing and make that change faster than the competition. So just proves we got better dealers.
This is a nice note to end on. So I'm going to give Jeff the last word. And before I do so, I'm just going to say on behalf of NADA, on behalf of our board of director representative to FCA, dealer Wes Lutz, thank you all so much